11, verse 20 through 24 shall be the reading, and I hope to give some further context. I want to thank our sang leaders. Y'all did an excellent job. Can we give them a love deposit? Thank Brother Joseph for being with us. It's good to see you. He done been traveling all over the country and stuff, and it's just good to see him back here where he's family. Mark 11. I'm going to read to you from the KJV. Those who have it can say amen. If you're ready to read, say bless the word. Holy Spirit says, "And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursedest is withered away. And Jesus answering said unto them, Have faith in God. For verily I say unto you," listen, "that whosoever shall say to this mountain," problem, family problem, relationship problem, job problem, church problem, "Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea." Now you can't just say it. "And shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe," listen close, "that those things which he saith shall come to pass." Now that's a bad translation. "He shall have whatsoever he saith." Verse 24. "Because of that, therefore I say unto you, what things soever," listen, "ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." Now I'm going to get to some translation, but I want to talk about the absurdity of belief. You may be seated. When I put together the graphic that some of y'all may have saw for this message that's up there, and I worked on it, and I was thinking, well, sometimes we get envelopes, and depending on who they come from, we already expect some stuff, or we already know what's in there. Envelope come around Christmas time, you about know, it may not be no money, but maybe we got a Christmas card or something. You about know, depending on who the letter rather is coming from, you have a belief about what's inside of the envelope. Even though you have not opened it yet, you have some type of foundation based on some other things, based on maybe a history of receiving letters. Some of y'all, I'm losing you. So when you see the JEA envelope, you about know, okay, what's in that. You haven't opened it, but you've seen it before. And you have a belief, a solid belief about what's in the envelope. Big mama sent you an envelope, you probably know some encouragement in there. Praise God. I got a letter from Big. It might be a little change, it might be a little something in it, but you have a belief before you even open it of what's in here. This envelope will represent something different to each and every one of you. But I guarantee you, if you already solidify what is in that envelope in your mind, you believe it, I promise you that when you choose to do the work and open the envelope, you will find the very thing that you thought, believed, and was sure was there. I'm going to open this envelope for you, but it'll be up to you to decide what you find inside of it. I want to give you a story to help build what I'm going to tell you. Some of us have done this. Some of us have had people at the house, or maybe you have had children and they've done this. You ever have those moments where there are things inside of the fridge, in the pantry, in the counter, and there's food in the house, but this food takes preparation. It's not the, microwave dinner. You can just pop in the microwave, put it on 2-3 minutes, and sit down and eat. Some of us want the convenience food, and we think that simply because I get on my knees, I say some nice words to God, and then do nothing, that whatever I ask God for is coming my way. Y'all better listen. Because prayer is kind of like having food in the house to an extent. But if you don't understand what you got and you don't do no work, you don't get a pan, you don't get a pot, you don't get no water boiling, you don't get nothing going, I promise you, you won't eat even if there's food in the house. And some of us are hungry. All of us ain't hungry. Some of us just want to see what everybody else eating. Y'all will get that on the way out. But if you hungry this morning and you want what's in your envelope, listen to what we finna say, because it is true what is said here, but we have not always heard the practical reasons for why this works. You got to go into some of our secular knowledge to understand why this works. You got to know something about yourself. You got to know something about psychology to know what Christ is saying right here and why this is true and why it works. I gave y'all the example of having food in your house. Some of you got so many gifts stored up and you're hungry, but you ain't willing to do the work. Some of you know how to add, subtract, run business, help people, do whatever it is you're doing. Your storehouse is full, your fridge is full, your cabinet is full, but maybe you either don't know how to cook or you're too lazy to do the work. Which one is it? I don't know, but I hope you find yourself in the text, because before now, they were walking into the city. This is a sandwich situation. He comes into this city and he sees this fig tree and it's full of leaves, it's full of life. It looks good. The problem is when he approaches the fig tree, there is no fruit on the tree. There is no production. It's not doing what it ought to be doing, so to speak. And when you find God's people, many times we look like a well-polished tree. We're good to the eye, especially from the distance. Some of y'all say, don't get too close, praise God. I'm all right. But when you see things from a distance, some of us see each other. We come in here with our Sunday best on, and we think everything is looking all right. We think everybody didn't come in here all right. You don't look like your situation. We have mastered that. We've been doing that for 400 years in this country, looking good and not necessarily being good. Y'all all right? So we mastered that. I want you to master yourself. Master yourself for yourself and understand this belief system. So he sees it, he curses the fig tree, he goes into the temple, and that's when he starts kicking people out. They come out a day later. Peter says, wait a minute. This that same tree. And Jesus doesn't go into why he cursed the tree. He don't go into none of that. He just simply says, if you believe, if you have this type of faith, you can not only do this, but you can do things greater. Y'all ain't hearing what I'm saying. Watch this. For instance, dreams. I'm going to get there, but I got to cultivate some ground. Let's take somebody like Walt Disney, who was turned down many times. I used to live in Daytona. Did y'all know he approached the city of Daytona first about building that theme park there? Nobody could see it. Some other places, I heard, came here, didn't see it. I bet right now, you see it now. been dead and gone. But the vision, some of us can't see it, can't see our own vision. We're afraid to get in the kitchen and do the cooking because somebody else said they didn't like your meal. Well, I'm here today to tell you, if nobody don't pull up a chair and eat but you, at least you eating. Because when you eat what you gotta eat for your soul, it's gonna give you that power, that energy to keep going, and it's gonna keep reaffirming your belief. And the stronger your belief is, you don't have to have the thing right then and there and now in the physical 3D world. When you got it right here, it's real sure enough. Because if you got it in your mind, that's where it needs to be for the energy to come out. Y'all come with me. Watch this. Let's just go into this. Let's just look at verse 22. In verse 22, he says, and Jesus answering said unto them, he talks about having faith. This faith right here, in this translation, it literally has to do with being consistently having faith. It's an unwavering faith. It's something you know in... All right, how do I put this? This is one reason why people don't touch a text like this, because it's very difficult to explain to the mind if you're not listening. The thing is, when you place your belief wholeheartedly in it, you see it as something that is and can be done in the future here. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? In the physical work here, you see future. It will be, can be, we can do it.
Come on.
All right.
Before that, you have to know it's already done right here in your head. And that don't make sense to those that are simply in this linear fashion of time. Those that do not understand an infinite power like God, an infinite intelligence like God. When it's right there in your mind, the state of feeling that thing can already be there. Let me help you get there. Some time ago, some months ago, I told some of us, we won't do it here, but remember I said, close your eyes. Don't use your eyes. But right now, if you could do it if you want. Go ahead and see what you want. All right, see where you have been. All right, forget the eyes. Is it the ears that help you hear? It's something, no. The ears are instrumental in this physical world, but you deeper than that. Because if you believe, think about that person that you love that is gone on. They ain't even here no more. They can't make a sound, but I guarantee you can hear them if you want to. So what happened? What's real? What's real is right here. And the way we share and what God has put in us, see, I gotta be careful, but y'all listen. God created you in his image. Where was the world before the world was? Where was time, space, and matter before time, space, and matter was?
All right now.
Well, the scripture tells me it was in the mind of God. So God creates you in his image. And then he puts in you a gift and a purpose for you to understand and find. But if you don't believe and you neglect all of that, you can pray all you want to pray, and it's going to keep being the same thing every day. Every time you wake up, you're going to keep getting what you always got. Until we change something. See, it's real simple. This is going to be real logical what I'm going to say. If you keep doing what you always done,
All right
you're going to always get what you always got. That's simple, right? So why don't we do certain things? You know if you take in a certain amount of calories, you'll lose weight. If you take in too many, you'll gain weight. Now you know that. But it don't matter when you ain't with that. And when y'all know, I had to say it like that again. So how you feel about it. See, some things we're just emotionally attached to, even though we know the possibility. You done been fit before. Y'all, I done ran a 6-minute mile before. I can't do it now, but I done did it before. I can do it again if I settle in my mind and make it real right here. So the same thing happens. We have all this stuff in our storehouse, but I'm finding the problem is some of us don't have the belief, the faith, and we are not willing to do the work. It's the same thing with academics. Why are we so far behind in the church with knowing some of the basics? Because we just want to hear somebody else do, or somebody else to cook it up. Cook up the meal, Taylor. Cook it up. Give me some greens, some ham hocks on here. Cook up the meal. Cooking up the meal every week. Give it to the people. You eat. That's good. But what I think is greater, I ought to teach you how to cook. Because if I teach you how to cook, you can eat when I can't feed you. And this is where we gotta get as a people. Let's learn how to cook. And one of the tools, we've heard this text and we just hear, and they believe it. But what is that? What is that? Okay, be consistently having. Let me go back to my story with my truck. Y'all remember my toy truck? For those of you who weren't here, I'll repeat it. I was a little boy, I was like 5 years old, and I had this toy truck, and I'm trying to get it up the ramp, and I found that it had, listen to what I'm finna say, it had enough power to make it up the ramp. It would just get to the middle, and the wheels would keep turning, bro. And so I didn't know what traction was, but I knew the truck had the potential power. It wasn't the weight that kept it back, it just couldn't catch traction. Some of us are full of power, but you lack the practical things needed. That somebody need to tell you this so your tires can get some traction. You can stop spinning your wheels. We're going to stop spinning wheels today if you grab this. So I'm looking at the potential power in the truck. The power was there. The power is in you. It's already there. You saying, well, Brother Ted, I don't know if I can do it. Okay, first let me talk to Christians who believe that God is dwelling in them. Do I need to say some more? If you say God is dwelling in you and then you say what you can't do, you already defeated. You're already, because the power is already in the truck. You just got to stop figuring out when you going to stop spinning your wheels and use what you got. So in my story, I'm watching the truck and I only focus on this. Watch. Because the power was in my little toy truck, I did not have a doubt that it couldn't do it. That was, y'all didn't, let that sink in. It wasn't going up. It wasn't going to the top, but I knew there was no doubt, not for a second, that it had the power to get there. Some of us all of us have the power to get there, but we have not gained traction. What's the other thing? This is why we talked about purpose. I'm trying to connect this for you. Some of us don't know where we're going. Even if you got traction and power, you ain't got no direction. You have to settle in your mind a plan. Once you know your purpose and you get this belief right here, you are not going to be stopped. And when you get this, you will be a force for God. Okay, so watch. He says, being consistently, that's a better translation than consistently believe, unwavering in your belief. You got to first know the power is in you. If you don't know that, you are already defeated. Y'all have heard some of these quotes before. These things are true. Whether you believe you can or can't, you know what? You are right. You are absolutely right. And as we continue, he says this. He says, if you have faith, but no action, and this is sense, you don't know your gift or your purpose. See, without a gift, you moving forward and you ain't got no aim. Because you don't know what you're doing, you're all over the place, and you have no focus. So we talked about that I being single. And as we move forward, I'm trying to move through this for you. The boast, when you look at verse 23, now this is where I want to be. That's the intro. Y'all ready? Verse 23 is the key verse here. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say to this mountain, somebody say mountain. Now see, this is where it gets absurd for those who don't understand how the Bible speaks. The mountain was in their way. This is how they illustrated it. They walked everywhere. Flat ground is easy. Hilly ground is an obstacle. You got to climb something. Okay? You got to climb something. So I know he's not literally speaking of mountains. Because even, now watch this. Hear me close. You can move a mountain. It may take a long time, but you can. If you don't believe me, if you were to see certain lands and places after the human mind came in contact with that land, it is not the same anymore. What happened? Somebody recognized what was in their storehouse, what was in their pantry. They had a bulldozer, they had a crane, they had this, and they went over there and they leveled the whole mountain. So the mountain can be moved, but somebody had to first believe they could do that. Because some people say, that's too much. I can't do that. You're right. You can't. But if I say I can, it's not for you to say I can. Oh, what just happened right there? You can't give me your belief. And I can't give you mine. But you better have a belief. And don't try to impose your belief on what I can do because you didn't do it. Here's a news flash. Some of us chasing dreams and not developing gifts, and that's why you can't do what you think you can do. Oh, we don't like to say that because that ain't nice. We don't like to tell people what they can't do. But if I'm going to help you and love you, I'm trying to help you fulfill your purpose. So he says, this mountain, this is the thing that's in your way, church. Now you're going to have to decide, as hard as it is, do you believe that whatever it is that you're dealing with, that when you open this envelope, okay, believing you have received it already, we're going to get to that. Do you believe that when you open this envelope, that whatever obstacle is in your way, you can move it? How many of y'all been at the point where you thought that thing was going to break you? Yeah. Come on now. All of us, maybe you ain't never had that feeling. Let me tell you what I felt the feeling where you just want to hop in back of the hearse and let it do what it do. Okay, I'm done with this. Right? I'm done. Yeah, I see the face. You ain't gotta say nothing, but it's real. Because if I felt it, you probably felt it too. Now, when you feel like that ain't nothing but the enemy. That's a permanent solution to something temporary. When you get belief in you, this is what it's gonna do. Y'all write this down. Persistence. Persistence. You can put another word with that, endurance or whatever, but I'm going to say persistence. Because when you believe something, you don't just let outside forces kill it. Because you believe it, I'm persistent. I knew that truck had the power to get where it was trying to go. But persistence, watch this, is what allowed me to see my belief become a physical reality. After 30 minutes, if I would have quit, Brown, and not been persistent, we don't make it to the top. If after an hour, I'm sitting there saying, I know it got the power, I know, but my problem is a problem that I can't solve. If I believe that, we never reach the top. Here's what I believe about you all. I think you don't even know what you got. Because we have been in a society that wants to tell us what we got, what we should do, and how good we are. Give you facts and so-called facts in school and program your thinking, and this is how you do things. I want to show you this is scripturally how we should program ourselves, so when we get ready to work and work in our purpose, we can help the kingdom grow, but you better have belief. If you can't get belief, you ain't gonna be persistent. Who would believe? See, a mountain, you can't use a hill. You gotta use something major. Because when it's major, it don't make good sense to people outside of your belief that you gonna somehow overcome this thing. See, as a little boy, I'm playing with a truck. My grandma wasn't worried about that. That didn't make no sense to her. That wasn't important to her. That didn't mean nothing to her. All she know, he ended up playing with little toys. But I'm going over and over this problem. And watch this with the belief. You only focus on how to get it done. You weigh pros and cons and all of that, but you focus on what is the goal here and how to get it done. Somebody come in there, they see you playing with a truck, whatever your truck is. Your truck may be your business you want to open, whatever yours is going to be. Your truck may be working on your relationship. Your truck may be whatever. But they come in there and they see you trying to get up the hill and you spinning your wheels, and they might look at you and say it's a lost cause because it ain't working. But see, they don't even have the same belief that you got. How many people have said, I don't believe something can be done? I'm just talking about in the world of academia. How many times over and over have you said it can't be done? This is a law the Most High put in you. This is why it works for people outside the church. But why not the people of God? Why shouldn't we be using this gift? Out of all people, we should have unwavering belief in what's in us because we know what's in us. Or maybe somebody lied to you. Now, after you get this in your spirit and you know you can talk to your mountain and there's going to be some action, but when you believe, that mountain is going to move. Now, how do you do that? You can't doubt. You can't doubt. Hold for me, James. Give for me, James, chapter 1 and verse number 6. What does it mean to doubt? See, some of us have been told, and I'm going to say something that's, it's going to seem a little weird. That's why this is called absurdity, right? There is no plan B. Let me get y'all just be quiet for a minute. I want y'all to listen. There is no plan B. Plan B divides energy. You're not focused with a plan B. Okay, so how does that work? There's only plan A with modifications along the way. Y'all hear it? There is no plan B. Attention is divided. That don't work, then opposite. No. You can do what you just set your mind to do. And because you believe it, you set a plan. What you will find in your journey toward the plan is not simply you can't. You're going to encounter mountains that will make you feel like you can't go any further. It will only be at that point that your belief tells you you can do this. While everybody else is looking from the outside in on you, and they don't have the belief or know what you got in your pantry, or they don't know what you got in your storehouse. And you may have not called to your mind yet what that thing is, but when it comes, it's coming. And when it comes, what you're going to do, you're going to modify. So what you're saying, the truck got to get up the ramp. Plan A, the truck has to get up the ramp. How you going to get it up there? It's going to get up there on its own power. It ain't going. Okay, we got to insert something in plan A that we did not have. What you going to do? I got to go to my pantry and get some ingredients. I'm telling you, we're going to cook this up for y'all. I hope y'all still at the table. So I took something, inserted it in plan A, but notice I could have believed all I want to that the truck could make it up the hill. Did it have the power? Yes. Was it going? No. What you gonna do? You gonna pray? Yes. What you gonna do after that? I don't know. I'm just gonna pray. I promise you this. Just as much as I promise that if you get up and do something, it'll work. If you just keep talking, it ain't nothing gonna happen. No, it ain't gonna happen. You say, but brother, I'm gonna show you in a minute. Brother Taylor, Jesus said, pray and whatsoever things you're asking, you'll receive. Yeah. He's right. Your understanding of what he said might need to be fixed. I guarantee you, we can pray right now, all of us. Somebody pray will get through, right? Go ahead and pray to end homelessness overnight. Go ahead, do that. Is it gonna happen? Can it happen? Some of you say that's a big problem. No, it can't happen. All it's going to take is you really believing and then putting together the plan. And when you believe it, you're going to be persistent. You ain't going to care what the mess say. You ain't going to care what the city, because you know we can do this. And so while you sitting there and you sabotaging yourself through thought, I'm going to try to pull this out of you. See, get from me James chapter 1. He already told us this, and these things have to be consistent. James chapter 1, starting at verse 6. You keep on praying, y'all. If you stay on your knees, and that's all you do, and you think God gonna zap things into existence, you got another thing coming, okay? Don't do it. Why would that be the case? He knows what he created. You don't know what you are. He knows what's in you, and he will not do for you what you can do for yourself. Don't do it. What you need to understand the power in you. Unwavering faith in that force, in God. Unwavering faith in that. And when you have that, it's going to get done. And we're going to go into why. Subconsciously. Y'all get ready to maybe take a few notes here and there, because I have to give you why this works. And we haven't put that with our preaching. It's always been mystical, but let me tell you something. We live in the world that he put us in. And we have to know something about the laws of this world in order to act. We can be in it and not of it. As a matter of fact, we'll start looking more supernatural when we start achieving things that everybody say you can't do. But when you let this teaching get in your spirit and you have persistence and absurdity of belief, and you start demanding, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get this thing done. People on the outside looking in that said you couldn't do it, when you get it done, what does that do to them? One or two things. They either back up and they hate, or they say, I need to get some of that. I'm going over there. I need to catch on fire with whatever they got. And now what did you just do? You just became a magnetic fisherman of souls. Magnetic. All right, James chapter 1, verse number 6. Give me some Bible.
But let him ask in faith.
Okay. We say, asking. I'm asking him to do this. Well, what does this mean? To ask is to acknowledge that the answer more than likely lies with who you asking. See, if you think a person is an authority on a topic,